Happy New Year, Sagittarius. It is 2021 we're looking at. And you know what? Getting out of 2020 is just delightful, just to say the least, isn't it? We're going to be taking a brief look at where 2020 set you up in a difficult way, because you were actually looking at how you could renew yourself financially. Now, yes, there was a slowdown. Yes, there was frustrations and all of that. But you know what? It really worked out to your higher good, didn't it? I think some of you have already started to see the upside of these frustrations. The slowdown kind of felt it blocked you from moving forward the way you wanted, right? But take a look over here, your second house. This is where Jupiter and Saturn were together with Pluto, right? So initially there was this should I say, stick in the wheel, stopping you from moving ahead, right? But what it ultimately did was, because of the slowdown, it made you kind of have to look inside for your own possibilities of how you can up your own financial income. Second house has everything to do with how you make your money. All right. The good news is that you're done with that now. There is a new foundation that is starting to show already from top of the year. And we're going to talk about that. Look at this. We have Jupiter and we have Saturn in your third house. This is where you're going to take that newfound knowledge, that new sense of confidence, and the way that you're making your money, receiving money, and thinking, hey, you know, I can do really good with this. It's all about trusting it. 2020, when Jupiter passed through your second house, it only goes through your income house once every 12 years. And Jupiter, being your ruler, what does it do? It expands any area of which it touches upon. So, in spite of Corona and everything else, you could have done better in 2020. And now take that knowledge with you, because for the next year, Jupiter is going to now be in your third house for communication. It's what you communicate, how you communicate, where you communicate, how do you present it. And Jupiter being the biggest planet, you know, it's supersized. So this is going to supersize this area in your life. Jupiter is also very confident. Sometimes it can become even overconfident, all right? Because it really feels so good about itself. It's like, the sky's the limit, right? So keeping you real and grounding you so you don't overexpand, overinflate, which Jupiter can. Saturn, on the other hand, which also is coming in very early. It's 1 degree as we turn the year. Saturn is the karmic master. It's you. It's Saturn teaching you how to really learn the ropes of communication. It taught you the last 2.5 years, it was in your second house, how to manage your money better. Sometimes when Saturn comes around, we can feel a little restricted, right? Think about the rings it has, right? So it kind of holds us. Now, that can be frustrating in and of itself. But when we learn how to roll with Saturn, we grow. It's the planet of maturity. And it's showing which area of your chart you will be maturing over the next 2.5 years. Now, Jupiter has 1 year to expand this area. And not just for the year it's visiting, but it's setting the foundation of how this new way of communication that you're going to be learning is going to feed you and help you as it moves through your entire chart over the next 12 years. If you get this year right, you will find that excitable energy, which is so gracious and so, should I say, abundant, will carry you through the next 12 years. If you ignore it and you don't develop those communication skills and put it to use, then, well, you will lose out on it over the next 12 years. This is why astrology is so important. It shows us how we spiritually grow, where we've been, where we're at, where we're growing into, right? And Saturn has 28 years. So it's go back 28, 29 years and figure out what changes did you do back then, because what you've been experiencing these last years is the result of it. Now it's time to mature up. It's time to take hold of the knowledge, the wisdom that you have accumulated the last 28, 29 years and put it forward in the way you will be responsible for how you speak, how you come across, So sometimes we can feel restricted in the sense that other people, the world, will be expecting more from us. And you'll come to encounter that. And if you live up to it, you'll be very proud of it. If you are resisting it, don't want that growth, well then you're kind of minimizing yourself and the potential, because you're going to have 2.5 years to grow through this area. And if you master it, that's what Saturn's asking of you, is to master it. And if you master it, this energy will follow you in these next 28 years and allow you to have a richer, much richer type of life. So 1 degree, 2 degrees. So they just changed signs here in December. And so you're starting off this year in such a wonderful way. And, I always say, Sagittarius, listen to your moon and rising sign too. And why do I say that? Well, this is your solar chart, okay? So that's you. But the moon chart, if you know the placement of your moon at birth and you listen to that reading, it will show how you're going to be emotionally taking in these beautiful changes and opportunities that are coming your way, how you're going to react to it, because that's what the moon does. It will show up in a different area of your chart so you can see where that Jupiter is going to be expanding all this fantastic, excitable energy. And in your rising sign, if you know your rising sign, you listen to that reading, you will see how you're going to be presenting yourself out to the world. That's what the ascendant is. It's how your face out towards the public, how they will receive you, and so forth. And so it's good to have that insight as well. But what we are going to be looking at here in your chart for 2021, we're going to follow the energy of Mars. And that is because Mars has a 2-year cycle to go around the chart once. So here in 2021, it's going to move 8 houses or 8 sections and focus dynamically on where your power is going to be. Mars is your drive. It's what gets you up in the morning. It's what motivates you. It's what brings you towards your goals, right? So Mars is totally important to us. And here in 2020, another part of why things were so slow was because it took 6 months. Mars was retrograde, and our inner drive just kind of fizzled, and we didn't really feel too motivated throughout summer and into autumn and so forth. But as it moved direct mid-November, slowly into December, picking up speed, so it should be in full speed by January. What it gave you extra time, because normally, like I said, it moves through each section 6 weeks. And here was 6 months. It gave you extra time to develop what? Well, the 5th house Sagittarius is all about creativity, self-expression, diving into what you like to do when you have free time. So it's all about leisure time and so forth. I can see how many of you Sagittarius dove into your games and whatnot, and hanging a little bit more loose, not really feeling that your drive was having to do your relationships or your career. No, it was like, I really want to spend time with what I love to do, right? And so that was 5th house opportunities. So yeah, creative. It could be sculpting, painting, dancing, games, golfing, whatever it is, right? Whatever floats your boat. So on January 1st, it starts off the year 27 degrees. So from January 7th, mind you, it's going to shift. You won't have the same opportunity that you have here in 2020. It will move into your 6th house. It will be there from January 7th to March 5th. And the 6th house has everything to do, first of all, with your health. How is your health? Catching up on it. Do you need to go back to the gym? Do you need to work out a little bit? How have you been eating? Maybe while we were having too much fun, maybe we're eating too much, right? So it kind of puts this on the focus, and you will see how that comes to be. But the sixth house is also about your daily routine. How is it structured? You know, does it work for you? What has been eating away at your time? What big chunks of time disappeared from focusing on other important things? Well, you're going to be clearing that up so you can become more efficient in 2021, which is a good thing. It's like cutting back, pruning, those things no longer important, so that when you start your day in a positive way, the rest of your day will continue in the very same efficient manner with that Mars energy. I'm going to do this, accomplish this, goals, 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 right? Which is great. So you're not going to have that same attitude as 21 or 2020. Then from March 5th to April 24th, Sagittarius, make a note on your calendar, because this period is all going to be about relationships. It's been 2 years since Mars was there, and so now it's really going to allow you dedicated, point-specific time to look at relationships and how that's working out for you. Is it too little? Is it too much? If it's been too little, Mars is going to up the game here and focus more direct energy onto your partner. If you're single, well, you know, this is going to be the time frame, the best time frame of the entire year to focus on finding a new partner. Maybe you'll start dating, you know, big time. Not only will you be breathing a lot of fire, which Mars is, into your partner, but you could also come to attract a very fiery partner into your life, where I feel communication is going to be awesome. Why? Because Mars is going to be moving through the sign of Gemini, as you can see here, which is all about communication. And for you, Sagittarius, you know, you're so philosophical. You always have so many higher thoughts. It's important for you to have a partner that's not just the physical level, the emotional level, yes, but also for you, it's important you can have a partner that you can talk to, you know, and communicate with. Share your ideas and your visions and so forth. So that's going to be your focal point to June 11th. And then moving into, to April 24th. And then from April 24th to June 11th, we will be having Mars in Cancer. Now, in this sign, Cancer is all about how we nurture, right? And how we feel nurtured. So, having that said, Mars is going to be looking at those values. What makes me feel nurtured? How do I nurture others? It's also the area of shared resources. How do you spend? How do you divide the expenses with your partner? Is that fair? Is he or she doing too little or too much? Am I doing too much? That kind of thing. But it's also a time where you could really be working on, it's money. It's a money house, but not necessarily your income house, which is more showed here in the second house of your weekly, monthly income. This is more, how can I save? How can I improve my financial situation? So looking at stocks, bonds, investments, this is a good thing. This could be taxes, right? What can I cut back on taxes? If you're looking for a mortgage, this would be a great time that you can do that. But whatever it is, you might have talks with your CPA, laying down a new foundation. Remember, 2-year cycle for each and every of these life situations, right? Before it comes back to give you that same opportunity that you're going to be getting now. Now, from June 11th to July 30th, the 9th house is all about travel, but not necessarily short distance. Short distance travel is always about, found here in the 3rd house. You will definitely be traveling more this year because Jupiter is there and Saturn. Short distance or for short chunks of time, that's represented here. But when Mars gets into the 9th house, you will have a desire to journey out, maybe to another part of the world, Sagittarius. And even if you can't make it to get there, oh, watch out for this period, because you might just be armchair traveling, right? From your Google Earth or something, right? Or exploring the countries that you would like to visit at some point. But the ninth house is also about higher education. I can see how many of you might want to feel like wanting to take a course, take a class, go back to college, that kind of thing. Teaching, learning. And when I say teaching, some of you might just even you start an online podcast. Teach those skills, the wisdom that you have. Bring that out and about to the world. So. Maybe we can see that here with you. Then we have July 30th to September 16th. This here in the sign of Virgo, Sagittarius, this is going to be your career month. Anything that you've been doing throughout the entire year has been leading up to this area where you now can take it out into your career. This is a great time, these few weeks, to have perhaps a talk with your supervisor or your boss about promotion. You're not holding back. You're not shy. You're actually really now at a point where you're quite direct, which you are normally anyway as a Sagittarian, right? But you're going to have this extra oomph with you. So I could see some doors opening up, some breakthroughs coming in that will be fantastic for you. So enjoy this time until October 31st and December 14th. This is going to be your social time of the year. Mars is going to take the lead. You're going to get out there to your tribe, right? And have events and social time spent with friends. And God knows where, Corona is going to be at that time of year from now. But you will, regardless, have a need, more of a need, should I say, to be with your tribe. Maybe you'll create an online tribe, because the 11th house here, though it's moving through the sign of Libra, the house itself is ruled by Aquarius and Uranus, which is everything technological. It rules the internet, and Mars being here, you might just find that you want to start something online. Maybe creating a new profile, a new site or something. Whatever it is, though, this is going to make an imprint on, and you'll see 2 years from then, how, if you used the energy correctly, how it has gained through its whole entire cycle, coming back 2 years later to wrap up what you started now at this time. And that is October 31st to December 14th. So if you're wanting to grow an online business, make sure that you have noted this on your calendar, because this would be the time that you would want to launch it, right, to be successful, and then to have a 2-year follow-up until it comes back here. Then we have, just at the end of the year, December 14th, Mars is going to move into your 12th house, which is more operating behind the scenes, where we want to rest up. Mars is a little tired, a little drained. And why? Well, it's moved into that last section. It's been running for 2 years until now it concludes. But where it can start up again from the first house, which you will dip into to December 14th. Some of you will already have it with your birthday and so forth. But that first house, see, coming out of that seclusion of the 12th, where you rested up and you had time to kind of feel, should I say, catch up with where you've been, getting that insight, and now knowing where you're wanting to aim that energy, you're going to come out full speed. Full speed. This is what I'm going to do. You're going to be very energetic from December 14th and throughout the year until 2022. And having it in this placement is great because it's in your sign. And that first house is all about the I am. The will that we have. I am, and I want, and I need, and this is what I'm doing. Look at me. Putting it out there to the world. They will see a new signature of who you are. So for that reason, this is awesome. So that's pretty much a wrap up just of the headline news of 2021, Sagittarius. Thank you for listening, and I will see you next month. Bye now.